rise with huge enthusiasm for my amendments. I'm speaking to Amendment 90 in this group, but it relates to Amendment 89 in the following group, so I'll just speak the once. Now, I've been told to call these probing amendments. I really would like to push them to a vote, and I'd really like the noble lady, the Minister, to accept them, because I think they're very good. They are similar to probing amendments put by my colleague Carla Denyer MP in the other place, and it aims to ensure that tenants have a way of benefiting from energy efficiency improvements where it's the government who has given the landlords the money to make those improvements. Because I'd like the Minister to think about who profits from the government subsidy. Is the government only interested in increasing profits of landlords, or should tenants get to benefit as well? Because triple glazed windows and wall insulation mean lower energy bills for the tenant, but that makes absolutely no difference to them if the saving gets cancelled out by higher rents. For example, take this case study provided by Generation Rent. Maya lives with her husband and children in a home they rent from a private landlord. They had a lot of energy efficiency work done, which was paid by government grant. They were eligible for it because they received benefits. But Maya came to Citizens Advice for help when the landlord asked for a £500 rent increase after her family had been through all the disruption of getting their home upgraded. You can imagine the dust, the dirt, the noise, the general disruption of having workers around all the time. And this increase would have left Maya's family facing a £900 shortfall between their local housing allowance and their rent, making it absolutely unaffordable for them to stay in their home. Maya tried to negotiate the rent with the landlord, but has now been issued a Section 21 eviction notice. Maya and her husband believe that now the property is in an improved condition, thanks to the grant funding they secured, the landlord wants to find more affluent tenants who will pay a higher rent. And I can foresee a lot of stories like this in local newspapers. I think it could be extremely damaging to local politicians, because there will be a lot of people blaming net zero for tenants being forced from their homes, or blaming the government because they didn't think this through. And tenants like Maya and her family can and should benefit from the Warm Homes Plan. The government is right to say that nearly half of private renters should not be living in leaky homes that don't even reach a Level C energy performance certificate. And I think the government is being generous with landlords by allowing them until 2030 to get the work done. But I don't think it's appropriate for landlords to take all the profit from a government grant and that the tenants shouldn't benefit as well. I think this is in danger of discrediting a really good idea. I know the Minister will say that tenants can challenge rent hikes through the first-tier tribunal, but the tribunal uses market rents to determine decisions, and a warm home is clearly more desirable than a leaky one. My amendment means that improvements to a property facilitated by means-tested, energy-efficient grant schemes can be disregarded by a tribunal when determining a new rent for the property, by ensuring that this taxpayer subsidy can't be used as grounds for increasing rent levels. And I realise this bill started off extremely skeletal, and the government has packed in an awful lot of amendments to try to flesh it out and actually make it workable. And I would argue that this is a very good amendment to slot in with those government amendments.